Okay, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to continue working on some of the small projects that my van needs to get done before I head off on my big summer road trip. I'm leaving in like 5 weeks, and I'm just slowly working up the list of all the nagging issues that my van has. Some are more serious than others. I'm currently procrastinating doing the intake manifold gaskets, but they will be done. But I am starting easy, and I'm going to fix some of the simple things today. Starting with my mirror. If you look up in the top corner here, ignoring my reflection, I have a spot that displays direction. It's got a compass, and it's also got the temperature. It does not light up anymore, so I want to fix that. This mirror originally came out, well, actually it came from eBay. It's out of a different vehicle. I'm not even sure what. But I went to the junkyard and I got a new mirror in case the mirror was faulty. But it also could be this wiring, which I think actually is. I actually did test the new mirror. It did not work either. Anyways, I'm going to fix that. But more importantly, I'm going to replace this whole headliner. When I went to the junkyard to get the mirror, I got a whole new headliner with a center console. I got new sun visors. These things kind of flop in and out. And I got some deluxe peak luxury of 1999 Astro van technology. So I got new sun visors, new headliner with the console. I'm going to get my mirror fixed. That's what this episode is going to be about. And with that being said, I'm going to start taking these sun visors down, taking this headliner out, getting this light unplugged, and yeah. Okay, major update here. This mirror now displays the temperature and a direction. That is different than what this mirror was doing, which once I rewired it, which I'll talk more about in a second, this light lit up, but it did not display the temperature. So I believe that mirror was a problem, but my bigger problem, I believe, was a bad relay not sending the proper signal. So essentially I eliminated the relay. I now have this running on key power, and if we hop out here, we now have those lights up there. We're running off of the same power, which if I now go over here to turn, I need a new dial. If I turn on my lights here, I do have a bad light out. That is a new problem I've realized. But now I have those lights running off of my headlights. I thought that was better. I don't want to have too many lights on during the day because I already have the ones up on my grill on. Anyways, if we go over here, this is the next project. I got my new sun visors, which go on last, but I got the headliner and this thing. I picked these up at the junkyard, and I think it's going to be a great addition. I think it'll actually hold my headliner up better. But to mount this, we got to go back in the van here. Whoa. To mount that, I have this plate, which came off a newer version, the one with the thing. And if I come over here, I have this over that. These square holes would normally have a clip that this would screw onto. Since I do not have those clips and I'm not going back to the junkyard, I'm going to have to rig something up. So I think what I'm going to do is mount this where I want it. Then I'm going to draw some lines on here with a felt pen. And then I'm going to grind it down so this lower plate can go on top of this plate, hold it in, and on these back legs I'll just have to drill a hole and screw it in like that. So that is my current plan, is to get that thing mounted, and I might swap my mirrors here and then swap them properly. And then after that, we're gonna mount the headliner proper, I think. Okay, let's go. Okay, so my plate is mounted very good. It is nice and secure, and I think it's gonna work pretty good. So now it is time to go into the garage here. And if you look, obviously I got my sun visors. For the record, I am gonna cut this little light off. It has a light on the mirror, which is very fancy, but I did not have the wires, and I don't care enough to run wires. But what I have now, there's my new headliner, and this is my full center console, overhead console. And if you look, it has green fur trim instead of gray. So I picked up this one here with gray. So I'm going to take this console, mount it to that trim, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go over here and we'll look at this. I have to figure out the wiring here. I got my wire that goes in, and I have this harness here. But before I only had one dome light, and if you look here, I had that dome light. If you look here, I have this dome light and then these map lights all on switches. But I only have full 12-volt power up at the thing in the van. So basically, I need to figure out how to run all of these lights off of just the one power source. So I'm going to deal with some wiring here, and I think I'm going to figure out how to take this LED board and put it into this here light. I'm going to replace that, and I got my lens over here. So I'm going to put this lens in here, mount the board underneath so it's brighter. And to make these brighter, I have some LED, LED bulbs I picked up on Amazon. So that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch this material for the gray material, wire it all up, LED-ify it, and then go back in the van, put that headliner in. And those sun visors, I would like to have this all done tonight so I can drive to work tomorrow. But I might put this in and deal with it later. I'm not really sure. Let's go. Okay, so we're officially ready to go with the install. I got this piece. It is now color matched with the fabric. All the lights are working. This is my dome light, which I have to add this in later because the screws go in here. But I got my switch here, just mounted to the plastic. So I'm gonna grab my final connector here, and then if we go over to the van, I think it's gonna get dark on me as I do this, but hopefully I can get this done before I go to work. But I'm gonna add this plug to those. I apologize for using Moretz, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. So I'm just gonna screw this in, tape it in, and then go with headliner, sun visors, and then bolt on that console. I think the sun visors are gonna help hold it up, so it's just gonna go all together and final step. So I'll see you when it is done. Okay, I am back, and I am totally done. So I just wanted to show you how good it turned out, honestly. I'm super stoked. So here's the big reveal. That is my console. And if you look, I got this light here on my Switch, custom modified. I got LED light, LED light, LED light, LED light, LED light. I'll turn that one back on. Oh, yeah, I won't. There we go. So you can see I got 5 lights now, which is, well, that is 4 more lights than I had before. And this just looks way nicer in the van. These sun visors are a huge addition. First of all, it doesn't flop in the little mount that it used to. It used to just slide out. And then I got my bigger mirrors here. Need to be cleaned a little. I did not have that light, which was kind of by design. I did not want to deal with it. But these now slide out, and I can do it on the side with the extension, and I have this bonus one there. I did not have that feature before, so these are a big upgrade. And then overall, with my bigger sun visors, let me get in there, my bigger sun visors, and this center console, I actually feel like this is more of a cockpit of the van now. It just kind of like holds you a little tighter, like it just feels a little more closed off. But overall, it looks very awesome. One more benefit to this thing is how much better, how tighter this is to the roof. Before it just kind of flopped down, but because this is mounted solid, there's just way less flop to it compared to what it was before, which is super awesome. And then if we turn the key on, we got my 41 degrees. It is not 41 degrees Celsius. I think it was 23 degrees on my way home. And then we can go temperature that's off, on, compass, and we got northwest, 41 degrees. I think there's a heat dome, but that in Canada, but that's not the part of Canada I am from. Oh, it's only 40 degrees now. Anyways, my old rearview mirror had temperature and compass on one screen, but now I can only have one or the other, which is kind of a bummer. But ultimately, I'm just gonna have to live with it, which is totally fine. One thing I should note is I think some of these have a compass, a screen, and it might even have gas mileage that displays here. When I pulled this, I thought I had a screen, but I didn't look closely enough, so I just have a plug there. But overall, again, I'm super stoked. I think it looks way better. Huge improvement. And for like 75 bucks, it was totally worth it. One more final thing I think I'll say is when I was out here testing my, I'll pull this key out. When I was testing my lights, which now run on my headlights, I discovered, oh, yesterday this bulb was out and it is now apparently working, which is kind of weird. Anyways, I think I'm gonna have to replace that bulb, but that has not arrived from Amazon, so that's it. That's the end of this episode. Upgrading the van, the driving experience. Yeah, looks good. Peace.